Thank you very much, everyone, for showing up today to our EU Info Day for the EU Business Hub Japan and the Republic of Korea. I'm Tatiana, currently working on this project and very happy to be able to share all the details, all the tips and tricks about how to participate into the program, and also share any interesting news that we have about the current business missions that we have open. So let's just get into it, and without further ado, I guess we'll get started with the agenda. So on the
In a second.
slide, yeah, thank you very much, Anna.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you very much. So, as mentioned earlier, we'll be looking today at the program itself. So looking at all the different assets that it offers. We'll deep dive into the different services that are promoted and offered by the program. Then we'll look at the business mission, the EU Business Hub at Japan IT Week, spring 2025. So Anna will deep dive into that business mission, giving you all the necessary details and all the relevant information on that business mission. Then we'll look at how to apply. Giving you all the different steps and making sure that all of them are clear. It will be also the opportunity for you to ask any questions about the application process to make sure that it is all clear and that you're all ready to apply to the business mission. We'll then share some tips and tricks for the application, and finally close the session with a Q&A session. So before we get started, I just want to reiterate that please feel free to add any questions in the chat. We're here to answer them. Feel free to put any doubts. We'll make our best to answer any of them throughout the session. Thank you. So just to kickstart and give you a bit of a history of the program, you've probably heard of it actually before, because the EU Business Hub program is a long-standing initiative for B2B cooperation. So you've probably heard of previous editions such as the EU Gateway or the EU Business Avenue, for instance. Some of you may have participated to these previous editions. So as you can see, the program is a long-standing initiative since the 90s and has been expanding all across Asia. And this edition that will last from 2024 to 2027 will specifically target the Japanese and Korean markets. So that's a bit where the program is aiming to bring European companies for internationalization. On the next slide, you can see a bit of an overview of what the program is. In fact, the EU Business Hub is a program funded by the EU. It supports European small and medium-sized enterprises, as well as startups, in three key fields: the green, as well as digital and healthcare sectors. And the idea is to support these companies to enter the Japanese and Korean markets. The program will be running for 4 years, from 2024 to 2027, and will be hosting 10 business missions in Japan, 10 business missions in the Republic of Korea for the next 4 years. For each of the business missions, we'll welcome 50 cutting-edge companies to benefit from all the different services and type of coaching and knowledge that the program has to offer. So very, very happy today to be able to promote this opportunity to companies and have all of you on board. So just a quick overview of these numbers. So we have two target market, the Japanese and Korean market, 20 business missions over the span of 4 years between 2024 and 2027, with 10 missions in Japan, 10 missions in Korea, and 50 innovative companies per business missions. And we'll be focusing on 3 key sectors: the green and low carbon technology one, as you can see, the digital solution ones, and the healthcare and medical equipment ones. And maybe just for your information, we are focusing on these 3 sectors, but to a different extent based on the country you're interested in. So for instance, in Japan, we're looking at the green and low carbon technology sector, as well as the digital solution sector. And for the Republic of Korea, we're looking at both green and low carbon technologies and digital solutions, as well as healthcare and medical equipment. So that's a bit how the business missions will be spread based on the theme and the country in the next 4 years. So just to give you a bit of an overview regarding those sectors, I know that these are quite overarching, quite broad, and that's why here we have a slide that summarizes a bit what we understand as a part of these sectors. So these are just a long list, let's say, a bit of a non-exhaustive list, because there are many innovative companies in these fields. But just to give you a few ideas of what we're looking at, for instance, in the digital solution sector, we're looking at artificial intelligence companies, robotics, cybersecurity, blockchain, digital health. So just to name a few, here are a couple of thematic areas we're interested in and the program looks at. For healthcare and medical equipment, we have notably ICT for healthcare, telemedicine and remote health monitoring, AI application in healthcare, and many more. And for green and low carbon technologies, we have anything related to clean energy technologies, energy system, but also circularity, for instance. So here are just a couple of examples, and just to name a few. But if you're a company in one of these sectors, we probably have something interesting for you, and we're definitely inviting you to join us on this program to embark on that journey. So maybe just a quick overview now of the key objectives of the program. So there are 4 of them, and they're quite straightforward. The first one is trade facilitation. In fact, the program is really aiming at facilitating trade and business ties between Japan and the Republic of Korea and the EU. The idea is really to remain in line with the different economic agreements that are currently enforced between the 2 regions, and really build upon these opportunities to provide business opportunities for companies interested. The second is SME support. In fact, this program is really all about providing tailored assistance to SMEs and startups. And so the idea is really to support them in building business connections in Japan and the Republic of Korea through the program. The third one is the promotion of the EU brand. The objective of this program is very much to promote the visibility and the presence of our EU businesses, showcase the EU brand, its standards, and really advertise them in Japan and the Republic of Korea, and provide this opportunity to European companies to showcase their products in their target markets. Finally, the last one, but not the least, is enhanced market insight. In fact, this program supports EU companies in gaining a better understanding of the target market they're looking at. Companies have the chance to go several times to participate into several business missions, and so go several times to the target market. We also provide assistance in supporting their understanding of regulation, certifications, but also linguistics. So the program is really here to give you the tools to fulfill your internationalization strategy. So that's a bit of an overview of the key objectives of the program. Now let me deep dive a bit into our coaching approach, which I really like to call the 360 approach. I think it really summarizes it quite well. Because the program really provides a start to end coverage in terms of support. And in fact, this takes place at different milestones during the business mission. So first, during the application and pre-selection process, where we're currently conducting, for instance, sessions like this, making sure that all the information is available to companies wishing to apply. The team is also available to answer any of your questions related to the selection process, but also during your application. So do not hesitate to reach out to us. We have a contact slide at the end as a reminder, but also on our website. Everything is well indicated relating to contacting the team. So please make use of that and contact us if you have any questions on how to apply or on how to best enhance your chances. The second point is business intelligence. In fact, the program is really providing participants with briefs, but also additional knowledge on the target markets, whether it is about the business culture, but also any elements related to doing business in the country, current economic trends. So that's also a service that is provided throughout the program. The third element is matchmaking and networking, and I think that's a very much a key asset of the program, because you get the opportunity to tailor your wish list of companies you would like to meet in the target market. You're also able to meet them and have one-to-one meetings ahead of the business mission, and really build on those networking opportunities that the program offers. So you'll see we have a lot of moments foreseen for networking, to discuss opportunities with companies and local stakeholders. So definitely an element that I think is a key differentiator here. Another point is legal and regulatory framework. In fact, the team has resources available to advise businesses on regulatory issues and certifications, but also on language. In fact, to minimize any linguistic barriers, we provide interpreters and translation services to participants, whether it is on the spot with companies, but also on their promotional material, for instance. So definitely something that can reduce barriers to business in this context. And finally, regarding logistics, the team is really here to co-support and co-organize the preparation of the business mission, so that companies can definitely focus on their strategy and implementing it. So we're really here to also assist on all the organization throughout the business mission. So now, just to give you a bit of an overview of all the business missions that are coming ahead. So as you can see here, there is a timeline for Korea with all the three different sectors the program is looking at. So in a couple of weeks, we will be attending the Digital Solution Korea 2024 event, which includes the time at a trade fair as well there, as well as lots of networking opportunities. We also have, as you can see, throughout the years, lots of fairs lots of fairs and events that are scheduled, and notably 3 in the field of digital solutions. So that's for the Republic of Korea. Similarly, for Japan, we are attending Semicon Japan, as well as the IT Week, which we'll be discussing today. And there are many more opportunities in the field of green and low carbon technologies, as well as digital solutions in the coming years for the Japanese market. So now that you have a good overview of this, I think I will now leave the floor to Anna to deep dive into the business mission itself and give you all the relevant information. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tatiana, and thank you to all the participants who made it to be with us today for the info day. My name is Anna Sarateanu. I'm part of the team of the EU Business Hub, and the idea is to now have a closer look into the business mission in Japan, which is organized around the Japan IT Week. And basically built around this event. As you can see, the exact dates foreseen are 21 to 25 of April 2025. And just to have a closer idea, a better idea on the opportunity for your business. As Tatiana explained, we have the possibility to increase the networking opportunities with innovative businesses in the digital sector, not only from Japan, but also with other innovative businesses from Europe, because there will be 50 participants, so you will have the opportunity to actually network and discuss and increase your contacts with businesses from the EU, which are like-minded and operate in the same sector. Of course, then another opportunity is the exhibition itself and the networking at the Japan IT Week to connect with local businesses. Then meaningful connections with the local actors into the local market, into the target market, let's say, and then of course have the network with the SMEs, the startups in the field. It is an international stage to display your services, and it is a good opportunity to really present this to the local companies. Now, looking into the types of companies we're looking for, again, Tatiana already explained it a bit. We're looking for European SMEs, that means EU-based, EU-owned, involved in the digital sector, but it includes a wide number of subsectors, as you can see, going from software to application development, data, to IT operation and management, cloud, AI, business automation, everything you can really think of, including the metaverse, the information security, and so on. To give you even a more concrete idea, we wanted to also have a look into the agenda. So the following slide is really looking into this, how it will look like. Now, I think the dates remained the old one. That's April, as I said. But the idea is that on Monday you will have the arrival and the networking reception. So you're going to have welcome, networking, gathering, and then a briefing on the business mission itself, on the week, guest lectures, meet and greet. Then basically the following 4 days are the B2B matchmaking at the Japan IT Week, going from Tuesday to Friday included. And then on the Friday evening, you're going to have the organizers debriefing. For the rest, as you can see, you have B2B matchmaking at Japan IT Week, the study tour as well on Wednesday, and then again networking, business meetings, then the business networking reception on Wednesday, and then again days dedicated to B2B matchmaking. Looking further into the benefits, again, this was previously briefly explained. We are looking into offering the strategic coaching, so the pre-departure preparation, the sector briefs, on-site industry, sectoral briefing sessions, site visits to relevant facilities, then the B2B matchmaking, and that is not just taking you to the fair, but actually pre-arranging the agenda of your B2B meetings. So you will have an individual, a tailored schedule for B2B meetings with enterprises from Japan, which will be carefully selected. And then, of course, it's the exhibition with the coverage of the individual exhibition fee. The possibility to meet with and to exhibit with other EU cutting edge companies, and the possibility to do a targeted promotion of your company's services and or products. Looking further into the benefits, as Tatiana mentioned, there's logistical support as well, going from interpretation to translations to booth installation to the design to the creation of the digital business mission catalog, to help in creating the promotional materials. In terms of hotel accommodation, the hotel is the Grand Nikko Tokyo Daiba. We intend to cover up to €1,000 for accommodation covered by the program by the EU. That means 4 nights during the period of the business mission with 1 room per company. And there are other customized services, meaning that there will be a financial support for the company to benefit from a menu of additional customized services, which are co-funded by the program up to €1,000. And here we're looking more into the interpretation, legal advice, booth decoration, and so on. Just for you to have a clear idea on how the EU Business Hub booth would look like, here you have what is the EU pavilion. So this is how we intend to allow you to exhibit your services. And going further, you will see a bit of the timeline, because the applications are already open, so you can already submit your application. You have one unique deadline to submit your expression of interest, and if you are deemed eligible, to submit your application form. In early February, we intend to communicate the selection results to the applicants, so to let you know if your application has been retained for the participation. And then 27th of February is the date set for the online pre-departure briefing. The business mission itself, as we said, is going to take place from the 21st to the 25th of April 2025. If you want to apply now, you already have the QR code on the screen or the link to the website of the program. And now let us have a look into how to apply. So first of all, who can participate? EU SMEs and startups, and there are 6 criteria which are going to be the let's say the guideline for the experts who will then select the final participants. The first criterion looks into how many years of existence does the company have. So we're looking into companies who exist for at least 5 years and are able to demonstrate financial figures for the last 3 years. And in the case of startups, we're looking into startups who have at least 3 years of existence and do have 2 years of financial figures. The second criterion was already mentioned, is to be entirely or majority EU owned and to have the headquarters in the EU. Then a third criterion, which is, I would say, pretty straightforward, is the fact that the company needs to be active and operational in one of the economic sectors covered by the program, either as a producer, subcontractor, R&D, engineering company, and so on. Basically, the only ones who are excluded are the business consultants. A fourth criterion is the one of asking the company to have a proven track record of international business cooperation outside of the EU. What do we mean by this? It means that we are looking into finding companies who already had contacts, who already had networking abroad and are really looking into expanding their activity outside of the EU. The fifth criterion is the one of having sufficient turnover and a number of people employed to successfully enter the target market. Do not be afraid of this, because it depends. It is a case-by-case analysis done by external experts, and it is also an analysis that takes into account the sector. So there are sectors, as you know, we're covering health, we're covering green and low carbon technologies and the digital. We know that sometimes the digital companies tend to be smaller. So do not be afraid of this, because it will be a case-by-case analysis, a case-by-case scenario analysis. But yes, the experts will look into the turnover, the number of people, and then into the sixth criterion as well, which is the one of having a solid business strategy to enter the Japanese and or the Republic of Korea markets. So the idea is to really explain into the application that you already have contacts, that you're already looking into going abroad, and that you do have a strategy on how to sell, how to present, and how to sell your service to one of the two markets. The other thing that Tatiana also mentioned is that SMEs and startups can participate in up to 3 business missions distributed between both target countries. And this offers the opportunity to engage in a maximum of 2 missions in the same country and a third in the other country. Why is this? Because we know it's not easy to enter the countries, and because we know that it is not something that will happen with just one business mission. This is also why we encourage you to apply now, so that you have time. You have another 3 years to basically participate, take part in other business missions as well. Now, let us have a look at the business mission cycle, just for you to understand how then it will work. So there's an online portal, the website. The idea is to go there and to register. So you're invited to create an account, registering on the website. You're going to have a password. And then you will have access to the list of business missions which are open for application. At that point, you can express your interest. You can submit this expression of interest, filling in a short module on the website directly. Then this expression of interest will be looked into by us to understand if the company is meeting the basic criteria, if we're talking about an SME, if it is located in the EU, if it corresponds to the sectors, and so on. If then the company is judged eligible, you will be receiving an email inviting you to apply for the business mission. So at that point, you will have to go again to you just log in to the website. You fill in the application form, and some parts will already be automatically filled in from your expression of interest. And at that point, you will be submitting the application. There will be a selection, and that is not going to be done by us, but as I said, by external experts, who will select those 50 companies that show the highest potential for the selected market. Once this is let's say, once this decision is taken, there will be an email informing participants about the outcome of the selection process, and the very phase of the preparation of the business mission and of the business mission will start. So there will be a mission pre-preparation, then the pre-departure meeting, then the business mission itself, and then the post-event coaching. Looking into the various phases one by one, you can see, as I said, that the first step is the registration. So basically, we ask you to go to the portal. Again, you have the QR code if you want to try live, and you can click either on Get Started or on Join Us. What will happen is that you end up here, and you will be requested to create an account. So you have to register, you fill in the information, and you create your account. As you can see, there's nothing difficult or which takes too much time. It's just the email address, a password that you're requested to select, your first name, surname, company name, country, and the VAT number. So this will help you basically create the account. Then, once you've done this, you go actually into the second step, which is the expression of interest. You will see the open business missions, and you can select one of those, or even more than one, and express your interest. You submit, you click on submit, and at that point, your expression of interest arrives to us, and we will be looking into the basic criteria. So as you can see here, you have the missions. You can see the EU Business Hub Japan IT Week Spring 2025. You can click on Express Interest, and what will happen is that you will be required to fill in a new module, which will ask you for company details, contact person details, business activities, and motivation. Some of the information will already be taken from your registration. So we already know what is the name of the company, for instance. And when you express interest, it means that you already are into the phase where the team will look if you meet the standard criteria. The eligibility criteria, so the eligibility decision will be based on the eligibility criteria. And if your company profile is eligible for that specific business mission, you will be invited to apply via email. So you receive an email telling you that you have been deemed eligible and that we kindly ask you to apply. You need to go again on the website, you log in, and you need to to make the application. If your company profile is not eligible for the specific business mission, do not hesitate to reach out for feedback, because your company might be eligible for another business mission. For instance, it happens quite often that startups apply without having the 3 years of existence. It doesn't mean that they cannot participate. It just means that they will have to wait for 6 more months and then apply again, express interest to a new business mission. So do come back to us, because there might be something that you know and we don't, because you forgot to mention, and maybe that explanation already changes the result of the eligibility decision. So once you've received instead the OK for the eligibility check, you are invited to then go into the application, to go back to the website and fill in the application form, which means that then we move to the application phase, where you are required to fill in, going to the fourth step. So you log into the members area, you submit your application. And the application form includes company details, business profile, business activities, international strategy, and the details of the participants. The applications then are assessed by independent experts. And if your application is unsuccessful, again, feel free to contact us for feedback, because you might be eligible to another business mission. So the steps are: you need to create your account, you need to express interest, and then you need to fully complete the application form, all this by the deadline. Remember that the application form, and we will come back to this in the tips and tricks part, is actually a form that is meant to give you the opportunity to build your case, to showcase your activity in the best way possible, so that the independent experts can understand why you want to participate to the business mission and how this will help your company further. So do not hesitate to really explain and fill that with the good arguments, able to convince them. Now, going to the business mission cycle again, as I said, you have the registration, which takes really 1 minute, expression of interest, potentially 10. Application, this might take a bit longer, because as I said, you need to build your case there and to explain why you want to participate. So registration, that is done immediately. You don't need to wait for anything. Expression of interest, you click, fill in, and send it out. Then internally, the team will look into your expression of interest and will take the eligibility decision, letting you know via email. If you receive the email which tells you that you are deemed eligible and invited to apply, you need to go back to the website and fill in the application form and submit it by the deadline. That was it from my side, but I would like to open maybe for questions. I do not see you, to be honest, because I'm sharing the screen. But if you have any question, just either write in the Q&A or
Yeah, I'm checking
in the chat.
checking the chat and the Q&A. We don't have anything anything yet, but please don't hesitate to put your questions in there. We're
Yeah.
foreseeing some time to answer them, so don't hesitate.
Okay. Good. If there's no question, then I think that was it from my side. Over to you, Tatiana, for the tips and tricks, and I will come back just for the request for feedback. Oh, we have a question.
I see.
Okay, what kind of track record outside of the EU is needed? We're gonna take this live, I would say. There is no specific indication about the record you need to have, but you need to convince the independent expert that you already have thought about going abroad, that you already have some contacts and potentially a network, or that you already had maybe you took part in business missions before that, or maybe you had online meetings, or maybe you I don't know, had contacts with a consultancy helping you to already move towards a specific target country. All this needs to be mentioned in order to let the experts know that it's not that you want to participate in the business mission because you saw the program, but because this is part of your strategy. So basically, this would be the answer. Then, of course, there are situations which are how should I say, stronger ones, as in you already had meetings, you already met 3 companies, and you want to further proceed with those, or you already have a list of companies that you would like to meet, and others who only thought about it and maybe had a chat with a consultant. That depends. Again, it will be part of the case-by-case scenario selection.
Thank you very much, Anna. And I think that's a very good segue to I guess the rest of the presentation, where we talk a bit more about the tips and tricks for application. Because as you mentioned, indeed, it's about really building your case and really showing that you are you're fit for that business mission. So whether it is by just showing a detailed list of people you want to meet, stakeholders you want to meet, or just relating that to your strategy, or you've already had experience, for instance. These are things that are definitely appreciated by our experts, and that are definitely taken into account in the assessment. So, well, it's about building the case. I guess we can maybe move forward and reopen the Q&A in a bit with after the tips and tricks. Thank you very much. So indeed, tips and tricks for application. So as you can see, as Anna explained, our procedure starts with an expression of interest. And here there are a couple of, let's say, important points to highlight. The first one being that please add as much detail as possible. This is not only to facilitate, to increase your chances, but also because the more detailed your EOI is, the more the easier it is then for your application, because a good section of the expression of interest is already automatically transferred to the application form whenever you're invited to fill it in. So it also makes your life a bit easier later on. So detail is very much important. The second point is to be descriptive. In fact, show the team, provide the team with as much detail as possible, as precise information as possible on your strategy. This is something that is carefully assessed. So whether it is explaining your next steps in the target market, whether it is providing a list of categories of stakeholders you would like to meet, providing a list of potential contacts that you have or that you would like to make. These are elements that show us that you are a good fit for the program. So please provide them, and also provide any proof that you have knowledge of the market, for instance. These are all elements that help building your case. The third point is to reach out. And as Anna mentioned, I think reaching out is very important, whether it is during the expression of interest or the application process, reach out to the team. They're here to answer your questions, making sure that you have all the right changes on your side, that you have also all your questions answered, all your doubts answered. So please do not hesitate. The last one is to ask for feedback. In fact, sometimes companies are not eligible for a business mission because they may not fulfill a criteria, for instance. They're too young or the turnover is too low, etc. However, there are also cases where it's a matter of not the company is not maybe the company is not aligned with the business mission, and there might be other business missions for which they would be eligible. So please make sure to reach out, because your company can also be made eligible for other business missions, even though it was not eligible for one. Just so you know, it's also something that the team monitors internally. So whenever we have our pool of applicants, and if you've been deemed non-eligible for a business mission, you can still be eligible for another one. It's something that the team monitors and sends eligibility announcement quite often to companies that were not eligible for a business mission but that are more relevant for another one. So please don't hesitate to ask for feedback, because you're always welcome to reapply to any of the business mission throughout the program in the next 4 years. So that's a bit the most important points regarding the EOI. Thank you. So then regarding the application, so there are a couple of elements that are important here to look at, and we've compiled a list of do's and don'ts that we wanted to share with you. So for the application, so once you've been deemed eligible, you're invited to fill in your form, as Anna mentioned. And some do's that are quite important is to first make sure that you provide detailed descriptions of the go-to-market strategy. It's something that really guides the narrative of the whole application, and it's something that experts that are assessing the application are really looking at carefully. So please make sure that your target audience is clearly stated, that the kind of company you're interested in meeting are also stated. We're not necessarily asking for like exact name all the time. If you have them, that's best. But if you don't, that's completely fine, as long as we see that you have an idea and a plan, basically. Please also mention your competitive edge. That's something that's quite important. What makes your company unique, competitive as compared to other companies on the market there, whether it's based on your pricing strategy, based on your product. Please make sure that you highlight that carefully. The third one is why specifically this target market. So please be careful and do not simply provide a generic answer about the company wanting to enter the Asian market. Please be specific to the Japanese or Korean market. Why specifically those? It may be for market opportunity reason, for contacts there. There are multiple reasons to this, but make sure that these are carefully conveyed in your application. Then, as mentioned, provide as many details as possible on your company strategy. Make sure that your key differentiators are well highlighted, and that you're relevant for the Korean market or the Japanese market, actually, if you're like looking at one of our business mission in Japan. Then regarding the don'ts, so as I mentioned, please avoid generic description. Only like go-to-market strategies focusing on like regional elements and not specific. Applications that are doing a bit less well are applications where the target audience is not well identified. So make sure that your customers segment are also well specified. The type of stakeholders you're looking at are also well specified. And also make sure that whenever you fill in your business activities and profile, the numbers are consistent, because we've come across some applications where numbers are stating one thing in one section and then something else in another one, which does not give a good impression, I would say, for experts if there's a lack of consistency. So please make sure that your application is consistent, that the numbers are also reflecting reality, because that's what experts base their assessment on. Then maybe just to give you an answer to a bit of an example of an answer here to application forms are being filled, I'm just here showcasing on the screen a bit of an example. So this is one question that is in the application form. It says, please provide a short description of your international business strategy, especially with regard to the target market of this business mission. So a good answer would retake the following points. So first, describing the company's overarching ambitions in a couple of words or lines, obviously, and the relevance of international expansion for the product, but the company as well on that specific target market. Provide a detailed rationale on why specifically Japan or Korea for your product. Why does this make sense with respect to your strategy? Then detail the company's product edge on the market. Why is internationalization key? Why is it definitely added value for your product and your overall business? Then explain what are the specific steps to your successful internationalization. Whether it is steps to be achieved before, during, or after the business mission. These are elements that are very interesting for experts to assess. Then finally, if relevant, please describe any current or previous involvement that the company has with other clients or other stakeholders abroad. And that boils down a bit to the question that we had. Please, if you have international experience, mention it, or at least mention the elements that you think would be helpful to enrich your international experience. Showcase your lessons learned, but also your expectations. I think these are definitely valuable elements that experts are looking at. Usually for applications that score a bit less well, just to give you a bit of an idea, we usually have applications that provide generic descriptions that do not necessarily provide specific reasons regarding the relevance of that specific target market. And it's usually applications that lack the why and the how. So we usually have an international strategy, but we don't know why specifically that market, that target market, whether it's Japan or Korea, and we don't have an explanation on how, so all the different steps. So please make sure that you provide that in your applications. These are definitely elements that help tilt the decision and build the narrative. So I've mentioned earlier in the presentation, we have a solid team behind that is available for contact. As you can see, we've divided them in clusters. So based on where your company is, you have several clusters, and you're more than welcome to contact them. They're at your disposal to answer any of your questions, whether it is for the expression of interest process, the application process, for feedback. They're definitely here to help. So please make use of this and reach out to them.
We wanted to also kindly ask you to give us a bit of feedback to understand how clear is the presentation, if there's anything you feel like you should know at this stage to decide if you want to participate or not into the business mission. Move though to the next slide, which is the one helping you to stay connected with us via the social media channels, the website, of course, where you can do the registration, expression of interest, and application, and also the general email address of the program if you have any question. I mean, normally during the presentation you receive so much details and so many information that you need a bit of time to digest all this. And then what happens is that 5 minutes after you have a question and the session is over. No worries. Please reach out to us via email and we can come back to you with an answer. We really thank you for your time. Thank you for bearing with us, and really hope to see soon your applications on the website. And please do share the presentation with other companies. Please do let them know about this program as much as you can. If you're part of any network, if you are part of any cluster, if you are part of any hub, please do share the information with the other members, so that because it's not like the competition is on one business mission. Maybe they will apply later, maybe they will apply over the last year of the program, but still we want to spread the word about this program. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Anna, and thank you very much everyone who joined today, and looking forward to seeing your applications popping in. Have a great day.